welcome back to another exciting episode of the podcast. Today we have a very special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, Jack Pack? Good to be here. New podcast. Same old me, same old wrestler, which is in fact a vlogging wrestler. I also happen to be the best TikToker in all of professional wrestling. I also happen to be the Tom Holland of professional wrestling. I also happen to be the leader of the Jack Pack, which of course is all of you. Jack Tomlinson, that's me. I also happen to be, if you don't mind me showing off for a bit, the new Victory Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion, which is pretty cool, pretty exciting. I also happen to be just getting back from the gym, so I have a bit of oatmeal here with me. So I promise I'm not rude. I usually don't eat on podcasts. But for this time around, I'm going to have some oatmeal, if that's cool with you.
Oh, that's fine, definitely. Congratulations on the win, by the way.
Thank you, appreciate it. It's quite fun. I would hold it on, but then I'd have trouble eating. So I'm just going to have it here, and whenever we talk about it, pull it up. It's right there.
All right, sounds good. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got to become a pro wrestler?
Yeah, absolutely. Train at the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy. It's in Hicksville, New York. It's got some of the best training in the entire world. Brian Myers, Pat Buck. It's made some of the best stars in the world. MJF, Chris Statlander, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, Smart Mark Sterling, Jack Tomlinson, Dante Drago, Leo Sparrow, Mike Anthony, Dr. Cool. The list could truly go on. There's no better school. But I started training there, started working hard, started having a fun time, started being on shows, and fast forward at this point, it's almost 6 years since I started training there. I've been Creative Pro Tag Team Champion. I've been the current VPW Champion. I'm the youngest graduate in the history of Creative Pro Wrestling, which is a huge accomplishment. I also happen to be the man who retired MJF from Creative Pro Wrestling, which is another huge accomplishment in and of itself. I've done a lot of cool things. Wrestled on Monday Night Raw and 205 Live at only 18 years old. Wrestled on AEW Dark Elevation at only 21 years old. I mean, I could go on. Should I go on? Am I being too arrogant? That's probably being too arrogant.
No, not at all.
I'm going to slow down. I'm going to more.
So, in the road to become a professional wrestler, did you have a certain wrestler that you looked up to, or multiple?
Sorry, I hate to do this. You broke up a bit there. Could you repeat that question?
Sure. In the road to become a professional wrestler, did you have one or more wrestlers that you looked up to?
Oh man, I had so many that I looked up to. First and foremost, I'm a big fan of professional wrestling. I love it. Whenever I watch it, I'm still like a little kid. Growing up, my favorite was Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was awesome. I don't know if I would have been as big of a fan if I knew the alter ego of Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, was going to be a cheater, and he was going to cheat me, because I don't know if you know this, #MajorPod cheated. Not once, but twice. That's why it's actually no longer #MajorPod cheated. It's #MajorPod cheated again. So I don't know if I would have been as big of a fan of Zack Ryder's as I was if I knew who Matt Cardona was. Matt Cardona is a cheater, but he's also injured, so get well soon, Matt. I'm thinking of you. I'm keeping you in my thoughts and my prayers. I hope you're better. And I hope you're going to come back, be the NWA champion, because if one day I ever win the NWA title, I really hope it's over you.
Definitely. So, as far as in your career thus far, do you have a favorite match or matches that may stand out to you that you're most proud of?
Yeah, absolutely. I find it difficult to just narrow it down to one match, so I kind of think of it in terms of runs. I like to look at it like what runs have been the best for me. I think summer of 2019, I went on this run where I wrestled and beat, and I'm not saying that arrogantly, it's just truthful. I went on a run where I wrestled and beat Max Caster, Anthony Bowens. I teamed with Bear Bronson. I then went on this spectacular 3-month stint where I wrestled and beat John Silver. I wrestled and beat Alex Reynolds twice, and that's when I also wrestled and retired MJF, and I also was a #1 contender for the Creative Pro World Championship in a 6-pack challenge at the first ever Major Pod Holiday Toy Drive live show. Like, we got FWF Live now, but this was the first ever live show that Major Pod put on, and I was going for the world title in it. So that's 2019 was huge for me. 2020, let's not talk about that. Even 2021, nothing crazy until December 2021 up until now. I think the run I've been on from December 2021 until right now is the best one I've ever been on by far. Won my first ever championship with Dante Drago being a tag team champion of Vlogbro University. Wrestled on AEW. That was a huge, massive accomplishment. Then I got to have a match against Major Pod. Again, they ended up cheating us. That's no good, no bueno. But at the same time, I got to wrestle Matt Cardona. I got to wrestle Brian Myers, Smart Mark Sterling, with Larger Than Life, my team of Eric James, and again, Dante Drago. That was a blast. And then, right now, I won my first ever singles title a little bit over 3 weeks ago. I'm currently the VPW champion. Like, this is an incredible run. The match is, Johnny Collins, the guy I beat to win this title. I could say a lot of things about him. He's a little at times. But that being said, we put together a couple of really, really great matches that I'm really, really proud of. So I think in terms of runs, as opposed in terms of matches, if we're going to get super nitpicky and pick a favorite match, my favorite match probably has to be against Major Pod, or the match that I had against Major Pod the second time when it was Smart Mark and Swoggle. Those two are amazing. So much fun. But probably MJF or John Silver. Probably. Maybe. Make a short answer.
Very cool. So I'm always curious to ask, where do you want to end up eventually? I mean, do you want to be in one of the big three promotions or the big four promotions, or do you like being on the indies? Because I know the indies are on the rise, and they have been for a few years now.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So I love the indies. I think independent wrestling is so much fun. I don't think I would have as strong of a connection with my Jack Pack that I do if it wasn't for independent professional wrestling. At the end of the day, in wrestling, the goal is either WWE/NXT or AEW. Those are the big goals. But before I get there, I'd be lying if I said I don't dream of wrestling in a Ring of Honor ring. I'd be lying if I said I didn't dream of wrestling for Ring of Honor, NWA, or Impact Wrestling. I would love to wrestle for those. I'd love to wrestle for GCW. These are massive companies that I would be honored to wrestle for, and honestly, I think they would be honored as much, equally, to have me in there. Hopefully I get to do it with my tag team partner, Dante, because I just love wrestling with him. He's so great. So definitely, the end goal is WWE or AEW. That is the end goal. But there's a lot of really great pit stops I want to make along the way, for sure. But on top of that, I'm pursuing a career in acting at the same time, and also on top of that, I have a career in social media. I want to say, I know The Rock and John Cena and Batista and The Miz have done something, and they've made their own blueprint to being a successful entertainer from the world of professional wrestling. I want to be this world of professional wrestling's Logan Paul. Logan has gotten into professional wrestling, but take that aside. He's made his blueprint. Mine's going to be similar but different. But I want to be the biggest content creator in all of professional wrestling. And that means I stretch beyond the ring. I stretch beyond the camera. I stretch beyond social media. Everything I do is documented. It is content. It is created. It is put out and shared with the world to see. Does that give up a lot of my life and a lot of my privacy? Absolutely, but it's a dream I have. I know it's a dream a lot of people have, so people can come along with the journey with me and live through my blogs, live through my TikToks. And I think it's a big task. It's a big dream, but there's not a doubt in my mind I one day will achieve that, undoubtedly. And I'm super excited for it. And that's going to range from being in TV shows. That's going to range from being on the big screen in films. It's going to range from being in the ring. And it's going to range from being on your TikTok For You page. But you name it.
There you go.
I'll do it.
So, in regards to wrestlers of the past or present, do you have what would be a Mount Rushmore of 4 or 5 top?
That's hard. That's really hard to do, because there's so many people that should be up there, and it depends on what category we're talking about. Are we talking about in-ring ability as a wrestler? Are we talking about babyface? Are we talking about heel? Are we talking about WWE sports entertainer? I mean, I guess I would go down and say it's probably John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan. Yeah, for sure. And you got Ric Flair's right there. Ric Flair's probably the GOAT, like literally. Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. I mean, Chris Jericho. This list could go on.
Definitely. Is there a dream match that you would wish you could have, whether it be past or present wrestlers?
Any match where I get to pin Matt Cardona.
There you go. So, in regards to what you've done already, where do you see yourself here in the next 5-10 years?
5-10 years? Whew, I'm gonna be on your TV. I'm gonna be on your TV a lot. I'm gonna be on your TV. I'm gonna be in your movie screens. I'm gonna be at the biggest shows. I'm gonna be holding all the gold. I'm gonna get a lot of views, baby, a lot of views. 10 million, 10 years, 10 million subscribers on YouTube. That's it.
It's definitely very achievable. I've seen some of your content, man, and it's great stuff.
Good dream. That's a good goal.
Absolutely. So, going into your title win, how was that match, and how does it feel to be the champ?
It feels great. Going into it was quite an event, to say the least. A lot was going on to make this match be what it ended up being, and from the moment I stepped out of that curtain, I felt something in the crowd, and it was honestly it was not good. I could sense it. The fans were tired. It was a long show. It was a long day. They had been through so much, and they had been so up for every single match, and it was so appreciated. And I had just gotten back from Ireland literally the day before, and it was at this time like 11 o'clock at night. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. There's a 5-hour time difference, and I'm still working on Ireland time, in that time zone. I just don't know the name of the time zone. Sorry, I'm blanking on that. So for me, it's 4 in the morning. I'm wrestling at 4 in the morning right now. These fans are tired. I'm going out there and I'm like, dang, this is gonna have to be the match of my life for this. And I give 200% to every match. I don't care if it's the main event for a title or if it's just if it's like a 5-second segment. I give 200, 1,000% of what I got to everything, no matter what I'm doing, because that's just who I am. I need to give my everything to everything, because I am everything to the extreme with any form of entertainment whatsoever. So I come out, I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh dang, they're tired. I'm tired. You got to pull something out, Tomlinson. So right from the get-go, we knew this match had to be hot, had to start quickly, and we got right into it. It was great. Excuse me. We got right into it. It was great, and we were really, really brawling at it. But the match is going on, and it's tough. The fans are definitely picking moments to cheer and get into it, but I can still tell they're tired. Now we get to the very end of the match. The Even Stevens try and come out to help Johnny Collins retain the title, even though they're banned from ringside, which causes a whole big deal of confusion. I got hit with a low blow, and then I got speared. But once I was able to kick out of that spear, something took over the sports arena, which is where VPW put on Under Pressure, which is where the next VPW show, Victory Pro Wrestling Homecoming Volume 2, July 16th, it'll be there as well, the sports arena in St. James, Long Island, New York. Something took over the arena. People just got ignited because everyone got what was about to happen. Everybody knew, oh my gosh, the Steves aren't going to help Johnny cheat again. Johnny's not keeping this title. This is Jack's time. And I have videos on TikTok, videos on YouTube, on my Instagram. I was going crazy pushing this content. And I'm going to keep pushing it because this is an incredible moment. It's one of the biggest moments in my entire professional wrestling career. probably easily a top 10 moment, probably a top 5 moment. Which actually, I kind of want to think what my top moments are. Maybe we'll talk about that. But it was crazy. You know, they started cheering, Jack, Jack, Jack. And I hear people going, are you subscribed? I hear people telling Johnny it's the end. Like, they're going crazy. And when Johnny, like, backs into me, and he's like, oh, no. Johnny knows it's over. I know it's over. But he knows it's over in a sense he's losing. I know it's over in a sense I'm about to be new champ, baby. About to get some gold, if you know what I'm saying. Hit him with that big kick. Oh, hit him with that big, perfect, dare I say, perfect subscriber stomp, subscribed him into the mat, pinned him, 1, 2, 3, and new Victory Pro Wrestling champion, Jack Tomlinson. That was a pretty great feeling, pretty amazing, pretty spectacular, total blast. It was great. Awesomeness, and the Jack Pack went crazy. The Jack Pack went crazy. I was just out there doing big star things.
That's awesome, and congratulations again on that. So as far as top moments, do you have a list that you could share with us?
A list. Let me think. So I don't know. This won't be in any order because I don't want to forget anything. But definitely Monday Night Raw. That's top. 205 Live is up there. Retiring MJF is up there. Winning the Creative Pro Tag Team Championships with Dante, that's my first ever title, that's up there. Winning my first ever singles title, this BPW title, that's up there for sure. Wrestling as Spider-Man, that's also up there. That was a lot of fun. And then wrestling Matt Cardona, that's up there. I've been very fortunate. I've had a lot of really great moments at such a young age. I say 18 years old. I say 21 years old. I'm 21 right now, but really, reality is I'm 21 years young. Like, I got so much time.
Definitely. So I am curious.
I'm just getting warm.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That quote from Logan Paul. Sorry, I cut you off. No, I was just going to say, I steal this quote from Logan Paul, but I take it because it's so true, and it perfectly embodies where I'm at right now. I'm just getting warmed up. Like, this is me just getting warmed up. I'm not even, like, in my element, not in my prime, and what I do is beyond what people in their prime can do. And
definitely.
That's really something.
So I am curious, since you have been on AEW Dark and on a Monday Night Raw, what do you feel like the differences are between the two companies?
I'm never. I've said this a couple times. I'm not the best person to ask that because at AEW there's like 10 people from Creative Pro there. Like I mentioned it before. You got MJF, you got Caster, you got Chris Statlander, Smart Mark, both the Bears, Anthony Bowens, like Alex Reynolds, John Silver. There are so many Creative Pro people there. There's so many familiar faces that when I've been gracious enough to have an opportunity to be welcomed there and be invited, there's so many familiar faces. It feels a lot more comfortable. When I go to WWE, at least the first time I went there, I only knew Kurt Hawkins. Like, so this one person. So it's different. But it's a good different. You know, one is WWE is my childhood, is amazing. I love that product so much. And then AEW is the new kid on the block, and they're hot and they're fiery and they're cool. You know, they're the bad boy. So
definitely, that's good. And
great things about both companies.
So I have to ask, you know, being the person that retired MJF, what did you think of his promo that he cut?
I think MJF is the salt of the earth. I think he is better than everyone.
Hey,
except for me.
There you go. So, there you go. So in regards to your social media, I know you said you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram. Where can my viewers find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So both Instagram and TikTok is at Jack Tomlinson 2000. On Instagram it is at Jack Tomlinson 00. On YouTube at Jack Tomlinson Vlogs. That's where you can find me. Posting a lot of content, a lot of stuff on there. I post on the daily.
Definitely.
Sometimes.
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us. Congratulations again to the champ, for sure. Yes, sir.
That's it? We're done? That's it? We're done? Nothing else you want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to talk about? We got time.
What else you got?
You don't got time. I got some more time. I mean, if you're kicking me off, kick me off. What else I got? You're the host. What else I got? I could talk about a lot of things. Talk about how Max Caster assaulted me. That's not cool. That was not nice. He did that at Cap the Grand Stage, hit me in the face of the chain, and then they get rewarded with a show, Shook Group Funfair. What? Not cool. Not cool at all. We could talk about that. We could talk about how Stranger Things Volume 2 is coming out. I absolutely love Stranger Things. I think Sadie Sink is one of, if not the best actress on the planet. I love her to death. She is amazing. Saw Top Gun last night. That was fantastic. Tom Cruise is a movie star. He's a movie star. Like, Miles Teller is having one of the greatest summers in the history of acting. He's amazing. Watched episode 6 of Kenobi. That was basically a love letter.
Definitely.
There's so many things we could talk about, man. So many things. So many things. None of that had to do with me.
Definitely.
But, we could talk about that. We could. We could talk about the merch that I'm wearing right now. This is the Jackpack Wolfpack shirt. It's available at prowrestlingtees.com/JTVlogs. There's about 7 other shirt designs on there. The new Jackpack Spider-Man shirt is out. I love that shirt. It is my all-time favorite. Available in both white and blue. So maybe cop one, cop the other, cop both. Never know. It's the hottest, the softest, and the juiciest merch in the game. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Something else I can put out here too. If you're cool with me, just keep firing things off. I got something else I can say. I can talk forever, bro. I mean, I just started. Well, I didn't just start. I got back into it. I used to do live streams on TikTok weekly. I stopped doing it because I was in my last semester of college. I was student teaching. Time was getting out of my hands, and there wasn't enough time in the day to do it all. But they are back. I actually just started it. As I told you, thank you again for pushing this back a half hour so I could get that live stream going. We're back. Weekly live streams, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. every single week on my TikTok, at Jack Tomlinson 2000. Come in, talk with me, comment, ask questions. I'll let you know what's going on in my life. I did the live stream right before this. I was folding laundry. I was telling stories. I was talking about my plans for wrestling and
I'll
acting.
have to check that out.
It was a lot of fun. Great time. I'm super excited. Feels good. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, whoa. Something's in my throat. So what happens when you eat oatmeal on a podcast and you talk as fast as I do. I can talk very, very fast. I've been told that. So oftentimes I need to remember to go, take a deep breath, talk a little bit slow.
There you
just
go.
Enjoy the natural soothing sound.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is quite enjoyable. I'm having fun. Having a good time. You having a good time? Is there anything like I can ask? Oh, good. I'm glad. Is there anything I could ask you? Because, I'm thinking about this right now. I'm having a little bit too much fun right now. Oftentimes, on these podcasts, it's always about the guests. Like, we're always asking us questions. And, like, I get it. We're the guests. But, like, did you ever, let me ask you, did you ever give yourself your own podcast? Like, do you have your own episode where you talk about your life and you talk about your love for wrestling?
No, I haven't done anything.
Or is it always
like
just
that
wrestlers?
yet.
Like, do you have your own episode? Because you should get yourself your own episode. You deserve it.
Definitely. I appreciate that. I'll have to give it a shot and see how it goes.
I want that. I want that for you. It'd be cool, you just sit down and just talk about it. That's the best part about being a vlogger. Just talk. I get to talk about my life.
Definitely gives you something to look back on.
I myself a journal entry for my life, and I love it. I love it. I'm having a blast. Mm-hmm. You know, one day my kids are going to look at that. And I really hope they're not going to be embarrassed by their old man. But at the same time, I hope
I couldn't agree more.
Because as their parent, it is my job to embarrass them.
So, it's definitely been a lot of fun.
But I think I don't know.
What's that? Sorry?
Good, you know? It's so much fun. Oh, do you have kids?
I do not. No, I don't.
Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
No.
When you said it's been a lot of fun, I thought you were saying
maybe one day.
Parents a lot of fun. I was like, oh, you got kids? That's great. Good for you. Maybe one day, man.
Anything can happen.
This podcast took a turn. We went from talking about wrestling to talking about kids. Kids are great. Kids are great. I hope one day I get to be a father. That's one of my life goals. Hope I get to be a dad.
Perfect.
I believe it. I believe it.
Hey, man, do you have any title defenses coming up anytime soon?
Yeah, no problem. And VPW's Homecoming Volume 2, that will be the first defense of this championship. I'm not entirely sure who the first challenger is going to be, but I do know Mike Anthony has been running his mouth online. He comes around and says he's not crazy, but he's crazy enough to take jabs at the wrestler. Ooh, John. No, Mike Anthony. That ain't going to end well for you. So, Mike Anthony, we are in the ring together. I'm going to prove that not only are you crazy, but why I am the VPW champion. Scrap to that.
Yes, sir. It's been a lot of fun, man. I hope we can do it again.
Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll have to set something up again in the future.
Absolutely, man. This has been a blast. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
For sure, man. For sure.
Absolutely.
Well,
and this will air on our YouTube channel as well as podcast as well.
You gonna sign us off?
And I will definitely post your links to all your social media in the description below.
Perfect.
That way people can find you. Absolutely.
Oh, sweet.
Definitely. So well, I hope you have a good night.
So much
and
hit that subscribe button.
Hopefully we can do it again soon. All right. Definitely. I'll give it a shot and see how it goes.
You too, man. Take care. And make sure you get on that solo episode. The fans are looking forward to it. They want to hear it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Later, bro. Peace.